Smartphone insurance in Africa is undergoing a major transformation from cumbersome claim processes and limited coverage to fast tech-driven protection plans that meet the realities of a mobile-first continent. As digital ecosystems expand and mobile devices become essential tools for business and daily life, innovative insurtechs are stepping up to bridge the gap between accessibility, affordability, and trust. Joining me to discuss this further is Gbenga Adigun, who is founder Scrella Technogies. Good morning, Gbenga. Many thanks for joining us on the Global Business Report.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Well, let's begin with how significant the current gap in smartphone insurance coverage across Africa is.
Yes, the gap is very massive. You know, we have over 600 million smartphone users on the continent, and way less than 1% have any form of device insurance. In fact, most users simply bear the cost of repair or replacement out of pocket, you know, for whenever their devices go bad. And so this is a very huge gap, and it exists because you know, traditional insurers or insurance firms haven't designed products that's suited to the realities of everyday users, you know, from their pricing to their payment flexibility to ease of claims. And that is why at Scrella, we are not just seeing an insurance gap, we are seeing a financial inclusion opportunity.
Right, absolutely. And opportunity is very key. Now, we know, Gbenga, that in relation to other climes, Nigeria over time hasn't been the most insurance adoptive, so to say. What key factors are driving the surge in demand for smartphone insurance on the continent today?
Amazing question. So the major forces that is driving this shift is digital dependency. People use their devices. It's just more, your phone is more than just a communication device. Use it to work, get entertained, to do so much. So when these devices get stolen or broken, it's not just a loss. It's an income disruption. It's knowledge disruption. It's revenue disruption. It's everything. And so, as more people rely on their phones for business and for their daily life, the need for protection becomes more obvious. So the two factors majorly will be digital dependency and rising device costs, because the amount we're using to buy brand new phones these days, 2-3 years ago, was what we were going to use to buy cars, you know, here in Nigeria. So it's a real concern.
Right, it's certainly a concern. Well, when it comes to addressing risk aversion, we can't ignore that. How are insurtech startups leveraging technology like artificial intelligence, mobile apps to streamline claims and boost user trust?
Amazing. So for us at Scrella, for example, what we've done and brought to the marketplace, which is extremely innovative, is to use remote diagnostics that allow users to check their phone's eligibility. You and I both know anything you want to insure, you're not going to insure it when it's already bad or broken. You don't take an already accidented car to the insurance company. They have to look at it and make sure it's working very nicely before, you know, you could buy a plan on it. So that's what we've done to phones. And the way we've done it, we've digitized the process end to end. You don't have to come to us, we don't have to come to you. Just download our app on your device. It runs a remote health check and tells us with deadly accuracy at the back end if, for example, your device is fit enough to be insured. And so this is the amazing innovation we brought to the marketplace, and it's something that users can complete in less than 2 minutes. So this level of transparency, digitizing the entire process, builds up, you know, trust in our customers, and then it also brings speed. And this has been the major problem that has allowed insurance penetration to remain at below 0.5% in Nigeria for the past 50 years. And this is what we're trying to change in the marketplace.
Right, so it certainly sounds very fast and seamless, which are, you know, very important components in the process. But collaboration is also key, as we find here. So let's touch on that as well. In what ways are telcos and fintechs shaping the smartphone insurance landscape through partnerships?
We already, you know, a few years ago, 5-10 years ago, we used to say collaboration is the future of business. I think we're already at the point. Collaboration, co-creation is everything today. It's difficult to go it alone. Why go it alone when you can, you know, collaborate with somebody who has already done more than 50% of the work you would be doing? So it helps to bring you to the market faster. So telcos and fintechs are a major distribution channel for insurance. Telcos, for example, can provide access to millions of active users at once. Imagine just an SMS, one SMS blast from a telco. 60 million people are seeing it at the same time. And then fintechs also enable seamless onboarding and a completely digitized process from onboarding to claims management to customer relationship, everything, and also using data to help customers gain more from insurance as a financial protection mechanism. So it's a collaboration that is really important for us to take insurance penetration, especially at the micro level, covering devices to the next level, telcos and fintechs,
right, so
and OEMs.
No, absolutely. So this cannot be underestimated. We spoke about risk aversion earlier. Let's also look at this in relation to the insurer now, because many times, people forget about that. What challenges do the insurers face when it comes to pricing, fraud prevention, for instance, and more importantly, accessibility across emerging markets?
In fact, amazing question. This is singularly one of the biggest issues facing the industry as a whole on the continent. There's a lot of fraud in the insurance industry, especially from the side of the insured or the consumers. They always want to defraud the traditional insurance firms. So that is a big challenge that affects the industry. Secondly, pricing. Because of inavailability of or not having enough data, this data is what is using. There's something in insurance called actuary that does the real underwriting process, the science behind the pricing you pay or the premium you pay to get a cover. So data really helps with that. And so again, it's very important that you curb this fraudulent, because I say this again, like I said the last time, with all carefulness and responsibility, Nigeria is not exactly a trust field when it comes to insurance. People are waiting for something to go wrong before they try to buy insurance sometimes. And this leads to a lot of fraud in the industry. So the best thing is to nip it in the bud. Fraudulent onboarding will lead to fraudulent claims. So for example, what we've done as Scrella is to ensure that your devices are accurately reported as working fine and proper. And the good part, again, about innovation is we don't have to come to you. You do this remotely, just downloading our app. We validate your device health before we sell any policy to you. So these are the issues that the traditional insurance firms have been facing, and companies like Scrella Technogies is coming to solve the problem for them.
Right. What's the success rate of that, though, in terms of nipping it in the bud? Because, of course, you see it as a major threat. But how successful has that been overall?
It has amazingly been successful. I don't want to give some data here, so we don't invite more of what we don't want to see. But it's cut. Let me say it's cut the claims ratio by more than 70%. So we have 70% less claims that you would otherwise have had without this our process or the innovation we brought to the marketplace.
Right, 70% is pretty decent data to work with there. Well, let's talk about mobile money integration. How has this influenced the uptake of micro-insurance products for smartphones?
So for us, mobile money and let me say effective payment systems has been a game changer. Nigeria is at the forefront, amazingly, at rapid, fast payments, instant payment systems, even ahead of some of the developed countries. So it has lowered the barrier to entry for many millions who thought insurance was a very difficult to access financial service, who probably have not heard about insurance before. So these people can pay for it at the micro level because we integrate easily with all these payment providers, and that makes collections very, very simple, and it makes access to this financial service a reality for most people who may not have been financially included, talking about insurance as a very, very important financial service. So users can pay small, pay flexible premiums from their wallets or even airtime balance. And this has allowed us to reach customers that would otherwise have been excluded from the formal insurance system. So we are just, what this successful payment service that we have in Nigeria does is to help us democratize access to this financial protection that insurance gives on portable electronic devices, and for the rest of it, health, life, and the rest of it. So payments has been a very key part in driving financial inclusion.
Right, and flexibility is also always very welcome in terms of attracting more users. You know, there is a buzzword when we're looking at digital, products. It's always innovation, innovation, innovation. So, Gbenga, which African markets, and, I'm going to urge you not to be biased, which African markets are leading innovation in digital insurance solutions, and why? Why would you say so?
First of all, I'll mention my Nigeria, my Lagos, because let me mention the Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa. Yes, and a few others, maybe Egypt, but Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa. So I'll say why, because Nigeria, number one, has a very young tech-driven population and a very high smartphone penetration. And this makes it a very fertile ground for mobile-first insurance models like what Scrella is bringing to the marketplace. And then Nigeria has amazing, tech developers, tech enthusiasts, people, strong adopters of technology. So Nigeria is leading in innovation. Kenya has a very strong mobile money infrastructure, about the best in the world, I dare say that. And, that has created an environment for micro-insurance to thrive. And we see a lot of insurtechs coming up with bright and beautiful ideas, bringing it to the marketplace and, finding huge glory. South Africa, the country with the most or the deepest insurance penetration on the continent, even more than many European countries at maybe 11%. Insurance penetration is calculated by, aggregating the gross written premiums of all insurance players all over the GDP. So insurance is a very big part of the economic activity in South Africa. They have a very mature market. And so having this mature market that is beginning to adopt digital-first processes is also driving insurtech forward in South Africa. So each market offers a unique lesson for scaling across the continent. But Nigeria is doing amazingly, of course. Right,
absolutely. It's always welcome to hear that. And hopefully we're able to maintain that position as well over time. If you joined us midway, I've been chatting with Gbenga Adigun, who is founder of Scrella Technogies. Gbenga, many thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again very soon.